So let's all line up together. I'm gonna join in. I don't want to do too good. Like I do. We'll do a rotation so where everybody's gonna practice out of sometimes. But we're only going to do the first six. Okay. So what happens is that we're gonna reset this. Fifth cue doesn't do anything, right? Fourth cue you start to do 1, 2, and 3. And then third cue, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the second cue, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
First cue is like the second.
So the only person here that's going to have to worry about the next level is him, 1 through 6. But all of you, honestly, have been doing this so long, you should be able to read 1 through 6. No problem. Okay? Alright. This is our center point. Smaller steps. Whatever you need to do to adjust yourself back to the center line before you start the next block. Okay? So you don't want to get offset over here, and you don't want to get offset over there. Okay? Where you start, I'm not worried about that. You have to be uniform line. You have to be uniform on the outside. When you come in, everybody needs to be the same line. Okay? I'll take this spot. That's what you like that. And then you two, actually, y'all can stay there, and the boys used to be going to okay. Switch to, so you already see.
Our Steve and Ben teacher said this really matters.
Okay. So remember, yeah, great point. Thank you, Jackson. I put some tape right there. I don't have enough tape, and they're gonna get so mad if I put a huge box of tape around here. But think about this tape as the outside of the box. All right, that's called Shiai Joe. Shiai Joe is like our court, our tournament court. It's always, you gotta remember these numbers. These are things that are just always helpful if you're gonna show up in the tournament. 9 meters. 9 meters is the smallest it can be. 11 meters is the biggest it can be. I have never been to a tournament in the Southeast that has been bigger than 9 meters. Because we're always trying to fit 4 courts in a gymnasium. So if you can imagine when you're fighting someone, this is the only space that you have. It's actually a lot, right? Because we usually practice this way, and we only have this kind of like racquetball court kind of style, right? Okay. So from here, you know that we have to cross our swords at that X line. And from here, way, bigger guys like us, you might be able to make it, but that looks really bad. When we take these steps like this, it doesn't look good. So we need to step. You have to know your distance. I remember last class, the theme was Mai. Mai is a Japanese term for distance. Knowing your distance is very important because Jackson is going to have to step in further than I'm going to have to step in. But I know that when I'm outside the box, I know exactly how many steps I need to come in before I can make my 3 steps comfortably. Okay? That's it. So each person's distance is different. Okay? So when I say Mae, Mai is distance. Mae is move forward. So when I say that, everybody's going to move forward to whatever spot they need. Okay? Mai, whatever you need. Okay. All right. We'll do over. Okay. All right. And then just like in the Shiai, someone over there on the Tai Chi is going to call out, okay, Bokto, Miyoru, Kendo, Kihon, Keko, Waza, Ho, 1 through 6. And as soon as they say Hajime, then you start the transfer process and you're on your own. Okay? Alright, here we go. Bokto, Miyoru, Kendo, Kihon, Keko, Ho, Waza, 1 through 6. Hajime! Man! Kote! Kote!
도 ski ski
Ski.
오케이 맨 오케이 맨 맨 도 도 에 맨 맨
Shimoshe, man. Good to see you. Right, man. Good to see you too. What's up, bud? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll rotate this way. Alright, so Robert, we'll go this way. We'll go that way. Alright. Same deal. Let's start outside the box there. We really need to practice this whole idea. It's okay to push that shin back. That's fine. We really need to kind of practice this whole like idea of getting our distance straight. Alright. Okay. Mae. So, Boto ni Oru Kendo Kion Keiko Ho Waza, 1 through 6. Hajime!
맨 맨 오케이 도 요 ski 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 오케이 맨 맨 맨 맨 오 요 맨 요 맨 Hit.
Okay, rotate. Alright. The smaller things tend to be what needs the most attention. So when you transfer your sword, it shouldn't be above your shoulder. It shouldn't be loose per se. It really needs to be, you know, you have to Google search like Japanese tea ceremony or something like that. And the way that they move, and the way that they just make a simple cup of tea. It's not a simple cup of tea. This seems like a very simple movement, but it's not a simple movement at all. This is moving from, I am not ready to attack, and I am changing my mindset now into one to where I'm going to attack, or I'm going to receive, or I'm going into battle. So it has to be done with that seriousness. Right? And you really want to hold this as if it were an actual sword, katana. And this hand here can simply rest on your side. And in some cases, you'll see some people put it right here, very polite way, but it doesn't need to be up. It can be down like so. Okay? Alright. Let's focus on that now. I'm gonna say the Japanese word. Mae. Gokuto Nyoru Kendo Kion Kekko Waza 1 through 6. Hajime!
Back. Hit. Rotate. Attack. Pull. Go. Ski. Ski. Rotate. Mid. Mid. Attack. Mid. 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 Pull. Go.
If he's stationary, meaning if he's not moving, it's not his responsibility to move forward. You gotta know that. Do that one more time. Yes.
Mid. Mid. Okay. Mid.
Hit. Miss completely. You just step out of his sword's way. Okay. Hit. Okay, Suriage. Hit. Suriage. Opposite side. So when he comes down from Kote, rotate, which is also a Japanese word sometimes if you visit another dojo or if you go somewhere. Kotai, kotai, which means change your position. So kotai. Alright, so the last time we went over the little just movement of this one very seriously, okay? So now this one I want you to think about the same seriousness that you put into this one. I want you to really think about after you strike or before you strike. So there's this one, right? I want to hit mid. Okay, there's this kind of mid. Mid! Alright? I'm going to do that one more time. Pay close attention to how I'm moving and just my body posture and my language and everything, okay? Mid! Alright, now notice the difference between those two and then what I'm about to do. Mid! One more time. One more time. Mid! It's force and it's speed. Correct. I'm not going through the motions. You have to understand the significance of this. I just cut through his head. Okay, like this is a very strong movement here. This is not kind of, shall I say, I'm just outside and I got a little stick and I'm just beating the bush, right? this is a real. So that's your goal for this next round. You don't have to be so intense because this might be a new feeling for some of you, but still, like trying it with the same level of intensity and seriousness that you transfer your sword, your strike should be very similar. Okay. Alright. Everybody rotated already? Maya. Bokuto no kendo kion keko waza. 1 through 6. Hajime! Mid. Hit. Hit. Do. Ski. Hit. Mid. Hit. Mid. Go. Mid. Do. None. Done. Kotai. Hit. Okay. Mid. Okay. Kotai. Rotate, please. Who has not been kakarite, the attacker? All three of you have been kakarite on this side? Okay.
I start.
Alright. And then receivers, everybody's been a receiver Has everybody been a kakarite? An attacker?
Yeah.
Not in this rotation.
So yeah, because you started over there. You're
Yeah.
good to go. All right, one more final rotation. All right. Now this last one, so we've gone over the seriousness involved in transferring the sword. So now we need to keep this same seriousness in all of our movements now. I talked to you about each time. That seriousness now, even when we step forward and backwards, I want to keep that same intensity. So instead of when we're here and we reset, this would be one way of doing it. Okay. What I'm asking is for you to consider okay. All right. This will all come together eventually, trust me. All right. My okay, Hokuto Nyodo Kendo Kihon Keiko Ho Waza 1 through 6. Hajime! There's no doubt in my mind you can tell the progression, how much smoother and how much crisper and how much cleaner and how much better you probably felt while you were doing it. Okay, so while I'm talking, you can kind of just chill for a second, right? So think about that. Not only in kata, because we don't just do it for the test. We should do it each time we do it, right? Think about how we do that in our swing practice, how we do that during Jigeko, any of that. Right? Sometimes it's okay to feel loose and to be loose. But if we can have that same kind of mindset in most of our kendo, and I'm including myself in this talk too. I'm not telling you guys just to do it. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, telling me to, reminding myself to do it as well. Okay? So this will elevate our kendo. It will, and it always looks really good. Okay?
It's good.
y'all put your mitt on. I'm not. Not yet.
Stay in that position.
But you should take this first spot right here. And then you'll just go to the spot. Right. I'm gonna tell you to take it to the spot. Stretch and stay loose. Just for a second.
Did you want me to go all the way around or?
No, it's fine. Right there. Right there. Jackson will take this first spot. Just like we did with Kata earlier, we're going to do Kitty Kaish. We're going to rotate about as many times as we did Kata. So we won't just do Kitty Kaish one time. I understand the difficulties of, if you only practice it for 30 seconds or a minute, 3 times a week, that's probably not enough to gain proficiency, unless you do it for a very long period of time. So we can increase our proficiency by doing it for longer periods of time inside of one practice. Okay, all right. We definitely don't hold it like this is. Remember, like I said, the seriousness that's involved. Right, we don't hold it like this. We don't wave it around. Just one. I understand we got the jitters, but we gotta do it.
Yeah, you can start without me. I'm having trouble getting with it.
So then you gotta go back. That's okay. Just relax. Just gonna go back a little bit. Alright. Remember, distance. Alright. When we come together, we should still be. Robert, if you would just put your foot right here. Alright, so our swords are not crossing. They should not be crossing. All right, our toe will be here, and this is the distance that you need when you start kirikaishi. All right, this is the best guesstimate. It's supposed to be 1.6 meters from there. It might be a little less, a little more. So when the time comes and you do kirikaishi, you have to know your first step into isoku ito no mai, the striking distance, has to be like this. And then from there, it's my job to get back. And that's why the X is there. It's very helpful. It's my job to get back to this distance. It's not his job to push you there. I need to pull him back, okay? And then you do one more time. All the way through. Don't ride off into the sunset, as I say. Just enough to turn around, and then back to your position.
And you don't want it changing out, right? You want it to go right back to position.
I want you to go back to your position. That's what you gotta do during testing. I think we should start practicing that style, or at least right now. Okay, guys. First time this one go. Yes. This time, I don't care about speed. I didn't do mine fast at all. Right? I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything as I'm supposed to. Kihon, basics. Remember, everybody, we all agreed, I saw you nodding, that everybody during this practice here had their hands up. So, none of this one. Okay? And then now I want you to think about your feet. And then especially when you're going backwards. Left, right, left, right, left, right. It's the opposite relationship. Right, left, pull. Right, left, right, pull. Okay? All right. Kikaishi! All right? Man! You need to go slower because he doesn't have road rules, and you need to hold your shinai up and all right. Yes. Nope. Again. Not you. You don't step back. You take them in. Then, and then you step back after he crashes into you. He's going to push you a little bit, all right? Don't step before that. your shin out this time. Let them make contact with your mid. Okay, for each mid. The only exception of not lowering your shin eye is when they come to tie a tie. You need to be here. And then after that, lower your mid. Let them actually make the cut. Except for you. You must protect yourself at all times. Alright, get the case! This is our center line here. Very good distance. Very good distance. Knees and rhythm. Okay, so when we come together, we're not crossing, we're not close. We shouldn't finish all the way over here. When we finish, we need to reset back to this distance here, okay? All right. Pull tight. So once again, I want you to after the first min, Hadi, and as soon as you back up, lower your chin out and let them hit you for every min straight. Okay? Alright. So please protect yourself. Alright, get your case! Cool. Right. Remember, they threw a curveball at us at this last shin side. You have to listen carefully and modify and monitor and adjust when they do this to us. Jackson, remember what they did? All right. So what do we usually do with Kirikaeshi? We go forward, right? Then we go forward more. Then we go backwards, and then we go through, and then what do we do? We do it again, right? And then forward, so that when we finish, we're actually back in the same position where we're at. Right? So what they did during the testing was kind of the opposite. Because of time, they said just go one time. So what they asked everybody to do is you did and then you went through. Go through again. Okay? You have to prepare for that. Okay? So if they tell you only do it one time, you need to understand what that means. And if they tell you, okay, after you go through after that one time, you need to go through again. So we're going to do that now. Okay? One time. That means when I say one time, I mean forwards, backwards. That's one time. And then a min strike, and then a min strike. Okay? Right? Alright. Your case. sometimes, but we're also no down and go down, fourth and fifth down. All right, so in your evolution of kendo, we don't want to take those kind of shortcuts. Now, because Ishimori and I are working on something different. All right, you just have to know that. I can't explain it to you. Okay, so real good strikes each time, same style. All right, Kikaishi. So the first thing that we want to fix is come out this way. We'll go over this, like kind of see. Jackson, make sure you can see too. Step over here. So when our shinai kind of flails off, so what I mean by that is when we hit mid, and like I made good contact there, but sometimes that's a problem with what we call our tenuchi. All right. So tenuchi. You know, Ishimori Sensei has gone over it many times, but just consider it like this. If you're swinging with your left hand, and I'm just going, that's pretty good. But I've been doing, I'm sorry if that's pretty good. I've been doing this a while, so that's good. Sometimes if we're weak, it'll play off. Tenuchi, at the very end, near the point of impact, if you will really, that's when you can really put it in the right hand, okay? At that moment, not before, because then that generates a right hand swing. At the very last moment, okay, I'm able to do that because I'm applying that pressure at the very end to create a good cut. All right. Speed will also play into it, so if I'm going too fast, I might slide. It's hard for me to mess it up because I've been doing it so long, but if I'm going too fast, I might slide too. Or I might come down here, I might hit something I'm not supposed to. So think about your speed too. All right? Takes practice. That's what we're doing. Thank you very much. All right. Think about that. Kikaishi. Same style, same style. Once and then 2 minutes.
Hey!
So we're not doing it now, but the next time we do footwork, and you know, sometimes we do that footwork, and when we get near the mirror, you know, a lot of folks just go ahead and do it. Right? That's the perfect moment to practice that tenuchi. If you'll watch Ishimori Sensei and I, or myself when I do it, I'm not really trying to like hit men per se. I'm just practicing tenuchi. So I'll do that. Right? That's all I'm practicing. Okay, so think about that. All right. Kikaishi. think about that. All right, you can practice that mentally at home. You can practice it physically at home. You can practice it in here. But think about that right there. Distance was the biggest thing that we worked on. Making sure your distance is right. So the cheat code that I shared last time is, if I'm going to do kitty kai's with him, and I've never done kitty kai's with him, I know that, you know, we may not be the exact same height, but if you will reach out for me, our reach is going to be very similar. Like, I know that I'm a little bit more, but our reach is going to be very similar. That's one shin-eye length. So I can estimate that one shin-eye length from my dough to his dough, go ahead and reach out again, is going to be his striking distance. And that's how I'm going to know, and I'm going to show the Tai Chi I who's not judging, but the Shinsai In who are judging, that I also know distance while I'm receiving too. Because it's very important, because we don't want to, we're not hitting the shin-eye. We're showing that we can hit men. Alright? So in this case, you have to keep the distance. And the only difference is when you have offset heights like that. You have to adjust. But still, alright? These are measured in an old Japanese measurement. These are not inches. That's not a lot. That's not that big of a difference. Alright? That's not going to take you out of your striking zone. So for even for Jackson, he can hold his shin-eye out to the dough and still get Rob a good distance. And from there, he might be able to adjust it a little bit. So what I'm saying is, when you test and when you go against someone, you don't have to hold your shin-eye out. You can to help you, but just know that when you're down like this, or even up like this, one shin-eye length is going to be a magical zone. And you adjust from there, okay? All right. Let's do men strikes. All right, menuchi. I want big menuchi. I want from outside of your isoku ito no mai, outside of your striking distance, just like you do the first men in kitty kai-ish. Step. It's not a speed drill. Okay? 5 times each. 5 times each. Menuchi. Hajime. No, son. Oh. Yes, keep doing it. Wait till you get your 5. Okay. We'll tighten. We'll take. Change places. Alright. Next one is the same. So we just did the big one. Okay. I want you to consider the footwork is going to be the same thing, but I want you to do a small bend now. Alright? You don't have to always do this. Okay, but when you're doing a shiai, when you're in an actual fight, okay, or in Jigeiko, or at Shinsa, it's still an option to you as long as you can do it correctly. And they like to see the big man, but they just saw that in kitty kai-ish, so they know you're capable of it. So now, if you're fighting against someone, especially if you're fighting against someone who does it, you should consider doing it as well. Okay, so you don't go up again, as I said jokingly last time. You know, your thumbs don't come back to you. We're not fishing. Okay, this is not fishing. We're going to come up, you really just kind of come up right here, and then from there, that's where the tenuchi really plays an effect, because you need to come down to the left, and also squeeze, and do that movement that I showed you earlier. Alright, and it'll take some time, because you need a lot of strength here, but that's really it. You can do it from piece from outside of your striking distance. Step in. Okay? You shouldn't go too high up. And again, you don't pick your nose. Send your thumbs to your opponent. Alright? Okay? Alright. Small men. Thank you. Small men, 5 times each. Ajme. You gotta step in more. You gotta get into your striking distance. Alright? So your striking distance, you wanna step in, and then from there. Yes. Very good. Once you have 5, switch. Bye. Change places. You just have to trust me that even if you feel like you're making a weak strike now, that's only now. Alright? Once your arms and your muscle memory gets there and you build a little more strength in your wrist, you're able to get that pop. It will become much stronger. Alright? You just have to trust me on that. Okay. Big kote. Okay, be mindful, we're not trying to break our partner's wrist. This is just our keyhole and our basis. We want the movement down, pat, okay? So I'll use distance is incredibly important because this is not the same distance of a step as men. His kote is closer, come over here so you can see that. His kote is closer than his men. So my striking distance, I have to mentally adjust for that. So if I want to hit men, I gotta jump further. If I want to hit kote, I cannot do the same distance that I just did. In fact, let me do a big man so I can actually bring it together. That's right. Okay. If I do that same distance against kote, that's where I end up. I end up skewering him. Okay, so I have to make that adjustment, which means a smaller forward step. And this is why you think about all these things that comes together, all these skills. When we do this in our footwork practice, that's why. Now we have that built in as muscle memory. Smaller step. Okay, I hit that one perfectly right where I want it. And then I pull back, and then I go through. Okay? If this partner who receives, if you'll do me the kind favor of doing a little ole, and let that person go through straight. Okay? Thank you. Kote, big one. 5 times each. Be mindful, not too hard, okay? Ajme. Yeah, ole, and let it go through. Yeah. Do it 5 times so we can make that adjustment. Big one, Robert. Big one, big one. to the right distance, okay? And you can move. There you go. One more. Very good. Okay. Yame, just in the interest of time, go back to wherever you started. Kotai, rotate. Alright, so now you're going to experience the same awkwardness that was. The same awkwardness as we did with the short mid. Maybe you might feel it's not as strong. We're going to do the same thing with kote. Okay? In order to do that, you just go back outside of your striking distance, in, and then you have to make the decision right here that you're going to go around slightly. Again, we don't want our nose, we don't want to bring it back up here. We want to go around just enough. That's it. All right. And if this person will do me a favor, once they hit it, you don't have to open it up too much. All right. Keep it straight and make them do it. But once they make their movement, then you can open. All right. So one more time. Keep it straight. Once they make their movement, then you can open, so they can have a good opportunity to practice, and then ole again. Let them all through. Okay. 5 times. Kote. Hajime. After they hit you, all the way. Very good. One more time. Go, Jackson. You can do small ones. You can try small ones, Jackson. Small one, okay? One more rotation. Kotai. I want you to do two exercises. Both of them are kote min. Alright. The first one I want you to do 2 times. Big kote min. Alright. This is an application of everything we just did, especially distance. So I start from here, outside of my striking, and I have to know my kote is going to be here. Kote. And then if this person will do the kind favor of just taking a step back, and then from after the kote, all the way through. That's the big one. And then the next one is going to be a shorter. Alright, so outside of our striking distance, we have to move in, and then from here it's pan. Okay, so I'm going to go slowly. Alright, that's my style. I'm going to do it quicker now, okay? So I go in. And in that case, this person should not have to move back. You're taking shorter swings now. You should be able to go. Alright? Okay. Kote min, 2 times. 2 big swings, kote min. 2 short swings, kote min. Alright, that's 4 total. Each. Hajime.
I'm going first.
Make adjustments as you need them. Alright. Be mindful how hard we're hitting. Just our first step. That's what it's called, shiai. Sometimes the tournament will be called a taikai as well. Alright, taikai is just a formal name for tournament. Shiai is the match that you'll have. And then the place where you have the match is the shiai jo. This is the shiai jo, as I explained earlier. How many meters?
9.
9 to 11. In this case, this is roughly 9 meters. I got a black line over there. I got one right here, over there, and over there. Okay? You just have to imagine that this is a. Alright, so I've asked you numerous times to stop doing that so you don't get to hold it anymore. Because you're over here doing this exactly what you should do. So you have to imagine that this line, this would be taped all the way. It would be a box. You step out of it, you get a penalty. 2 penalties, you lose a point. Alright? So we're going to do some matches right now. We have just enough time to do some matches. I'll pair you up. I'm not worried about size or rank or any of that. Alright? We're just going to get in there. You got to be the first to get 2 points. Alright? When I raise my flags, depending on who is where, I will raise it and I will call what point I saw. And I will end it with Adi. If I saw men Adi. If I saw Kote Adi. If I saw Do Adi. If I didn't see anything, like, and maybe, there's always 2 other judges, and maybe one judge raises their flag. I need to signal right then if I agree or disagree. If I disagree, I will do that. I won't do that because we don't have any other judges, okay?
So just again, red means strike.
Well, red will be this side, white will be that side. Usually you'll have what's called a taski tie right here to indicate what color you are. I will just have to know right here. I'm only going to say it once. That's the thing. I'll say the point. You may not hear it, but you may hear me say something. You need to know that somebody scored a point. If you keep going and you don't recognize my point, then I will say, Yame! Alright? And then you'll know to go back to your starting points. And then I'll keep this up. Alright? After 1 point, I will say Nihon me. So one person has 1 point, one person has 0 points. I will not say Hajime except on the very first time. If one person has 1 point and one person has 0 points, I will then say Nihon me! That means just exactly that. This is the second point coming up. You have 1 total points. The next point will be the second point. Okay? If each person has 1 point each, I will say Shogu. Shogu is like sudden death. Alright, that means the next point wins. Alright? And then when the match is totally over, I will say Shogu Ari. I will not say Yame. I will not say Sankyo. I will not say Sorote. I will not say that. I will say Shogu Ari. And then you know that you need to Sankyo or Sankyo and back out. Okay? Yes?
So after the first point scored, or any point scored, and we recognize you said it,
Yeah?
then we go back to reset.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was the case.
Very good. Okay, so Rob Hudson and Moshe first up. All right, remember, same rules apply as what we did with Kata earlier. You do not bow outside the Shiaijo. You step in the Shiaijo to however many steps you need before you need the 3 steps to the line. You gotta make it to that line. Okay? 9 meters is not a big deal for most of us. Okay? You have to do that on your own. The Shimpan will not tell you that. They may nod at you, and if you're really ignoring them, they may do something like this. Usually your teams will fuss at you like that. Oh. Okay? Alright, so it's on your own. Hajime! Whoa! Yeah! And I mean, Jackson, you're on deck. On line, on the just before, right? Okay, so this is my line. My toes can be right there on the edge. Not on it, right before it goes up. Okay? Hajime! Nihome! Shobuari! Robert, stay. Moshe come in. And the next set will be Richard and Hudson. Okay. On the line, on the line. Hajime! Oh! Nani? On the line. Nihome! Oh! Shobuari! Hang on, I want him to say it one more time, and then Hudson and Richard will go next. Okay. Oh, don't bow until you step in the shadow, right? So you take the however many steps, right? Alright, make sure you're both on the line. Hajime! Oh. Hotelli! Back on the line. Back on the line. Alright, so we're very big sticklers on this. So the worst case scenario is if you start off and you go down to some kill and you're not on the line, they're going to tell you in some kill to scoot forward. So when you go back and reset, you should be in proper kamae with that right toe barely on the edge of the tape. Alright, so look down and see, you're stepping on top of it. It needs to be right up. That's the one right there, okay? Alright. Nihome! Oh. Menari! Shobuari! right now, he only has one. But you have to acknowledge the referee, the shimpan. So when I say Hansoku Ikai, you just simply bow and acknowledge. The worst case scenario, you didn't get a penalty point, just hit right. So the worst case scenario is if you just ghost them. Don't ghost them, because then they will stop. And then they will look at you. You knock you what I said. It's never a pretty sight, it's very embarrassing, okay? Alright? So make sure you pay attention. So from the beginning. Hanso Ikai. Andre! Yeah! Shogu! Shogu Adi, done. Shogu, sudden death. Each of you has 1 point now. Shogu! Yeah! Melanie! Shogu Adi! So in line up, so that's, we'll close it down, and then I will talk a little bit while you guys are taking off your name. Okay.
Caesar!
We'll go ahead and tell everybody. Minotore.
Minotaur?
Minotore.
Minotaur?
Yeah, so you have to realize in Japanese there's really no R or L, it's a blend of both of them. So when you say tore, the R part is the R and L mixed. Tore, minotore.
Minotaur?
That's for you guys. I don't have it. Yeah, you good. Alright. So there's always 3 shimpan. One who's in charge of it all, Sushin, and then Fukushin. Alright? We create a triangle. So when you see me moving around, like I'm moving around and there's 2 other judges on the other side. Your goal in the Shiai is you gotta get 2 of the judges to agree. So already there's a little bit of flaw in what just happened here because, first of all, I only see one side. The benefit of having 3 judges is you have 3 perspectives. And you have a majority that decides a point. Okay? So if you turn and you're lined up this way and I'm here, I'm out of position, which is why you saw me moving to kind of keep myself in between both of them. Does that make sense? So if you feel winded now, that's good. That's a mixture of adrenaline, and that's a mixture of just going all out. Normally at your level, Q level or unranked level, it's 2 minutes per match. And again, if you are red, you will fight twice in a row in a round robin style turn. So you have to be able to last 2 minutes times 2, going all out. So think about that when you're if you train at all. Okay.
Boxer!
Sorry on me.
Boxer me?
And then now opposite. Okay.
Motoka ni? Red?
And So you wait until the term has happened before you say Ray. Okay, so first one, show me.
Stromany. Rip.
Alright, wonderful. Okay, wonderful practice. Alright, this is very good for you guys. You need Shiai practice. You need promotion practice. You need to know what it's like when the intensity comes. You need to know the commands, the calls, the penalties, all that stuff. It's a big part of Kendo. Kendo is tournament, Kendo is testing, Kendo is practice. All three of those is a part of Kendo. You need to know all three. So very good practice tonight. I gave enough feedback during practice, so I'll give you one last piece of feedback. Great job. Keep up the basics. All right, keep up the basics and we'll continue to progress. Right? Great. Okay. Dismissed. Take her. Then off. I recently put on the Facebook page, Newberry will have its first international festival coming up soon. The date is escaping me. End of March, I believe. Near the end of March. We've been asked to do a 45-minute demonstration. So we're going to do a 45-minute demonstration. Who went to Greenville last year? Jake led the demonstration. Nobody?
Oh, yeah.
You were. So it's a mixture of kata, it's a mixture of swing practice, and it's a mixture of fighting.
Oh, so it's like, well, okay.
It's what happened in Greenville.
Yeah.
Demonstration. We show up, we show everybody what Kendo is all about, and we have some fun, and then we get out of there.
Oh, Jackson.
So,
I've heard that we don't have another accident.
huh?
I said I've heard that we don't have another accident.
You had an accident in Greenville?
Yeah, the reason why my dad
Is that why Doc got hurt? That's when he got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt during there. And that actually took him out with Kendo, sadly.
Well, they will have a stage. I know that much. I'm not certain what other, shall I say, amenities they will have